Hi, I'm Dean Da Costa, the Search Authority. Welcome to my speakeasy. Hi everyone, welcome to my office. As you can see here, I'm a bit of a sports nut. And if you really could see everything, you'd notice I'm a bit of a comic book nut. Yes, I'm a 60-year-old kid. At any rate, what we're gonna do over the course of the next however long it takes us is go through hireEZ and some of its capabilities, specifically as it relates to the first 3 steps within the sourcing lifecycle. Most of you know that sourcing lifecycle is research, source, pulling the information out, which kind of isn't really a true step, but we make sure people know they have to do that, and then enhancing. We're gonna focus on the research, the sourcing, and the enhancing piece. And let's get to it. So we're gonna start with insights. The reason for that is quite simple. First part of the sourcing lifecycle is research. Research and insights, they're basically interchangeable. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a title. I like to be simple when I do these, look for something that everybody's looking for, and everybody's looking for developers. So we're gonna just do developer. We're gonna go do it. Now I'm only looking for current. I don't care if they were a developer in the past, because what if they were a developer 10 years ago and now they're a program manager and they haven't developed in 10 years? They probably don't remember how. So let's not do that. So we're just gonna go with developer. And then we're gonna come down here and we're gonna pick a few more pieces of information that I think we need to have in order to get what we want. One of them being a skill. You want them to develop in what? We're gonna pick on Java because Lord knows everybody wants Java. And let's see, they give us a plethora of choices of Java. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pick one of them just to get things moving here. We'll go with the Java Enterprise Edition. That sounds cool. And then we're gonna come down lower. Now I could do location. So let's say we are looking to get an idea of what our ability to find people that are Java developers in, say, the Seattle area. I live in the Seattle area, so that's why I don't mind using Seattle. And then we're come down here. Now I can add education, I can add more skills, preferred skills, experience levels, industries, diversity, clearance, and all the stuff you can see here. I mean, I'm not gonna repeat what you can read, but we're gonna just leave it there. And then we're gonna generate insights and we're gonna wait for the report. The report says there are 3,229 people with the title developer or a related title, because it does do related titles, who have the Java in the Seattle area. So let's check it out. So right here it says the software engineer, which is a title very similar to developer. It's usually interchangeable. 83.3% have that title. Cool. Interestingly enough, the title I asked for developer, less than 1%. So that's interesting to know. So that means if I'm putting together a string, I'm probably not going to use developer. I'm probably going to use software engineer because that seems to be the most prevalent. And principal software engineer is the second one. Between them, they make up roughly 89% of the population. So that's probably what I would go with. Now we know that. Down here, top skills, we also noticed Java Enterprise Edition. That's perfect. We wanted that. And then regular Java, that's it. By asking for Java Enterprise Edition, we're going to get Java and anything related to it. So that was a smart move. So I like that. That worked well. Down here, we got companies. We now know, interestingly enough, the company to target, it says it's Microsoft. Now, I find that interesting because Microsoft is not a Java shop. Obviously, they're C# and all that good stuff. Amazon's number 2. That I expect because 90% of what Amazon does is in Java. So that's interesting. Not something I expected. Good to know. But moving on down, we also know Google is up here, which is expected. T-Mobile. So these are the companies you would want to target, which I find interesting. And if you hover over them, you get a little more information. Evidently, there are 700 professionals at Microsoft who fit the criteria. That's good to know. All right, let's move on down the way. Whoops, thing went a little fast for me. Sorry, we are using a Macintosh. And for those of you that don't know, I am not a Macintosh fan. I don't even like Apples, so this is all a little weird for me. I actually had to get them to hook up my mouse because I really don't like the way the keyboard works. Anyway, past companies. There we go. Now, this is something I did expect, Amazon. Now, the question is why current company would be Microsoft, the past company would be Amazon. Kind of simple. Java and C++ are actually fairly close. A lot of time in the early days of Java, when Java was first coming out, a lot of people would take C++ people, train them for 3 months, and they could do Java. They're really close. So that makes more sense to me. Tata Consulting is a consulting company. Most of the people they have are at Microsoft, so that all makes sense. Industries, computer software, duh. Internet, duh. Information technologies, duh. I mean, it's not like you're seeing anything in there that makes you go, oh my God, why in the heck would the underwater salvage industry want Java developers? Yes, there is such a thing as underwater salvage. So here you go. This tells you exactly if they are actually remember when we put in location, you said Seattle within 50 miles. There are other cities in Seattle. This gives you an idea where they're at. Most of them are in Seattle, greater Seattle area. There are some in other places like Renton and Kirkland and Issaquah. Average market value. Now this is where you get your salary info. So here's the deal. If you want to hire a Java person and you think you're going to hire them and pay them $50,000 a year, you're going to see here that ain't happening. There is not one Java developer in here making $50,000 a year. So you might as well hang it up. Where this comes in really handy is when you're a hiring manager, which they inevitably will say, I need a Java developer with 10 years of experience, and I want to pay them $60,000 a year. Find them. No, because no Java developer with 10 years experience doing Java development is going to take a $60,000 a year job. You're looking more at the 130 to 150 range. So this is where you get to go back to your hiring manager and say, sorry, but you're muy loco. You need Spanish for you're nuts. You might want to rethink that. Let's see. Let's get down here a little more here. Oops. Sorry again. I'm not Macintosh enabled. So down here we have diversity. Most of them are Asian, then there's women, then there's Hispanic. Yay, Hispanic, that's me. And then there's some veterans, again, me, cool. Years of experience, and here we go. See, most of them have 10 to 15 years experience. Gee, I was just talking about 10 years of experience. Years in a company. This comes in handy because this gives you an idea how long you can expect that person to stay with you. It appears that 45% of the people only stay for about 4 years, give or take a little bit. So that's interesting. That lets you know that people like to move. And then 2 to 4 is the second most. So these developers don't hang very long. They want to get in, do the thing, learn, whatever, and then move on down the highway. Top schools. These now you know which schools to go ahead and target within the Seattle area that might get you job developers. University of Washington, not surprising. Arizona State University, not surprising. University of Mumbai, not too surprising when you come up to the diversity area. So when you combine them, you kind of understand why all this is happening. So now you've done your research, and there's what kind of degrees and majors and all that. You now have an idea what to do. You know the titles, you know companies to target, you know salary ranges. If the diversity is an issue, you know diversity, and you're ready to rock. Time to create your strings, which is where we're going next. We are now going to go over to part 2 of this sourcing lifecycle, the actual sourcing. So, again, don't care about past, so we're going to go right here. Now, we learned that developer is not the best title. We learned that software engineer is, because we are going to look within Seattle again. So there's software engineer, and we're going to pop it. That's the only title we're going to use. The tool does have the capability to say software engineer and any like titles, so you'll see other titles that are similar. So there's no reason to go more. We are looking in Seattle because that's what we were looking before. Otherwise, we just wasted time doing research that doesn't fit what we're doing. Let's see. We aren't wearing mandatory skills. Yes, we did want a mandatory skill. We wanted Java. So let's put in Java, and we said Enterprise Edition. So let's make sure we're trying to keep it the same, more or less. We could add Java and all these other things, but as we saw when we did our research, when you put in Java Enterprise Edition, you're getting all those other things. So no reason to convolute things. Something you need to remember is when you do these strings, you need to, even though this is not a Google or a browser, and you may not be limited on how many words you can search, you still want to think about it. And in Google, you're limited to 32 words, so why convolute things? We're not going to worry about preferred skills because we're just not going to worry about it. Now, user experience. Now, our hiring manager wanted 10 years. So we have choices of 8 to 10 or 10 to 15. I will tell you from experience, this is going to be an experience saying don't go 10 to 15. Go 8 to 10. And the reason you want to go 8 to 10 is because they say 10 years, you can usually get away with 1 or 2 years less. You're not going to get away with 1 or 2 years more because of the salary constraints they're going to put you on. The difference between what a 9-year Java person makes and a 12-year Java person is pretty big. So you don't even want to bother playing that game. Besides, you're going to get plenty of people. If you're doing your job right and writing good emails, 500 candidates, which is what it shows right now, that should at a minimum get you 20 people that are hireable. And of course, down here, you can build a Boolean string, and it does have Boolean builder capabilities, which I really love because The string it builds can be used in anywhere you want. If you decide you want to go to Google, run it. You can want to go to Monster, run it. I mean, that's one thing I really love about the tool, about the Boolean capabilities. Okay, and then it has excluded words. We're not excluding nothing. So what we know right now is we got 527 candidates that fit our bill. So let's look at them. We already knew that would be Microsoft, master's degree, like master's degrees. We know they have contact information for the person, and they also, that person is on all these different social sites. So strictly looking at it, let's do the more and get a little more idea. This person definitely would fit the bill. So you'd put good fit. Yay. Now, you'd go through all your candidates, good fit, bad fit, whatever, or you could just do a checkbox and save them all to a project. And what you would do then is you go here. Now, in my case, I have a couple projects here, but I don't have a project that I would want to save this particular search to because, well, these projects are for something else. So I'm going to create it, call it Java, and this will work right here. I mean, I'm not worrying about it too much. We'll save it into a new one. We'll call it Java 1. And that's all. Oh, and then it wants to know what stats they're in. So save. And we wait, and it's created a new project, Java 1, and there's actually everybody, but if I go into the project itself, there'll only be the one, which is cool. All right, so now we've got all that. Now I want to show you the best part of the tool, the best part of this program, the best part of this platform. I want to show you the enhancement capabilities, that third step in the sourcing process. And the reason why I'm ecstatic about this particular part is because it just can make your life easy. I don't know about you guys, but I've been around recruiting, sourcing for 30 years. And I like doing my sourcing in a lot of different places. And no matter where I do it, I still have to get contact information. I still have to enhance it and get more. And this particular platform gives you that capability. And it's just huge. So what I want to do is show you what I did. If I can get this thing to do what I wanted to do. Like I said, not a Mac guy. Okay, this is what I started with. This particular spreadsheet has got nothing but URLs. All these people are related doing what I want them to do, but they're nothing but URLs. Nothing. You got a couple from LinkedIn, a couple from GitHub, Facebook, Twitter. What I was able to do with this, though, is really cool in that I was able to take that spreadsheet with nothing but URLs and stick it into hireEZ, and look what it gave me. As you can know this, it gave me it basically gave me their complete profiles, everything, including email addresses that are there. I have to push the button to get them. We're not going to use the credits to do that. All the other places where you can find them, it gave me everything. This is the part I'm most excited about because it is just so hard to find an easy, simple way to get this kind of work done. Normally what happens is you find them somewhere, you got a URL, you got to follow the breadcrumbs. It can take you as long as 45 minutes to find all this information manually. And all I had to do is update it and leave it alone. It emailed me, we're ready. And I opened it up and there it goes. And so this is the part that I'm most excited about because it makes life so much easier. And where it'll also come in handy is it doesn't have to be just URLs. You can have just names and titles, names, locations, names, company, whatever information you got, you give it and it'll do its best to match it up. No tool's 100%, but this one does a really good job. And it's saved my butt a few times when I have hiring managers, hey, we happen to go here and we got these names of people. Could you get us everything we need on them? And okay, yeah, I'll just stick it in here and let it do the work for me. And it does. So, and of course you can now download the list, you can reject the people, you can contact the people through the platform. You can download it. It has connections to several ATS and CRM, so you can just push a button and have the information go over to the ATS CRM. Really, really, really cool. I've spent more, it's hard to explain it, but when I look at the way I work and I look at the things I can do, nothing in this tool I can't do. But what this tool does is do it faster. And that's the key for any platform, any tool, anything, is speed. I can Google, I can create my own strings in Google, but this thing do it faster and saves me. So if I use this platform to do everything I want to do, and it takes me an hour, but if I did it manually myself, it took me 6 hours. That just saved me 5 hours. Let's just say as a recruiter, you're making $100 an hour. Let's just use that number. That means you just saved your company 5 times 100 is 500. But if you do that 5 days a week, that's $2,500. You do that 4 weeks a month. Now you saved $10,000, which by the way, 2 months of that, and you can pay for this platform, any platform you want. So think about that for a minute. That's what these tools are about, is making your life easier, making your ability to do things faster, therefore allowing you to do more. And that's what these things, and this part here is the best, because like I said, just finding one person's information can take 45 minutes, let alone 5, 6. So there you go. This is hireEZ. I like the name because it does make hiring easy. Pretty simple. That's it, folks. Cut, print, go. So I want to thank you all for coming to my speakeasy. Been great. For more information about hireEZ, contact hireEZ. Don't contact me. If you contact me, I'm going to tell you to contact them after I tell you some stuff about it. But still, contact them, and they'll be more than happy to help you. This is Dean Da Costa, the Search Authority, signing off. Have a good day. Out. Doggy.